Alright, y'all. So welcome back to the Say Something podcast. It's your boy LucidontheBeat, and I'm here with
Kate Jones.
Kate. Why they call you Kate Jones?
My friends just called me that. I don't know why. I ain't even asked. I thought it was cute though.
Oh,
Since
okay,
I'm all girly and whatnot.
Okay. Slow sipping. You know, this just a little intermission podcast. You know, just on the spot interview. You know, relationship, late night type shit. So, got a couple questions lined up for you. Tell the people about yourself first if you want to. You know. Just tell them a little bit about yourself. You ain't got to go into detail or anything you don't want to say. You don't got to say that, just go ahead and let the folks know who you are. They know who I am. I done did this several times.
Well, I'm a damn truck driver and I'm a cook. I love to cook. I learned how to do all that due to the fact of being bored.
Okay. Of being bored?
Yeah, being bored. I got into that real heavy. And also, too, I had one of my kids to brag about my food. And it's crazy because with me just doing that, took off. I do large caterings and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. So, how we in Georgia. You don't gotta get too specific. Folks text me and shit. I'm gonna leave it. I don't even want to fool with it. But all right. So, we in Georgia, that red clay. So, how you feel about the climate down here? This more so like the relationship section. How you feel about, relationships between men and women, older, younger? Like, what exactly you feel like men are lacking out here? Let's start with that.
Well, nowadays I feel like men are lacking with actually really wanting to get to know a female and to want to actually take her out to do activities. It doesn't have to be just out to eat. It don't even have to necessarily be the movies. But I also understand, too, that women nowadays, they look up to a lot of these female rappers. They feel like they're supposed to have this luxury lifestyle.
Like you were saying, like all these female rappers.
They putting a lot of y'all to the point where y'all feel like y'all are supposed to live the lifestyle that they're supposed to live. That's not true. Y'all should still want to do some of the old school necessities, like activity-wise. Y'all should want to go for a walk in the park and hold conversation. You should want to go to the movies or play miniature golf. Don't sit there and tell a man that that's corny because there's a type of activity he want to take you to get a feel of who you are, to see if y'all even can be compatible for a second meet and greet or meet up or whatever the case is.
Okay. That's real. Y'all hear that, man? Take notes, man. Take notes, gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, how you feel like if a guy was to approach a lady like you, nice lady like you, you know what I'm saying? What do you feel he gotta come equipped with? Because a lot of people be saying online like, oh, they call this. I don't know if you watch Kevin Samuels, but that the whole high value, R.I.P. Kevin Samuels, respect, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they be saying like, high value men, they want this top notch, top guy, top dollar, this top notch guy, and
But they want a top notch guy, high value guy, but I be feeling like at that point they want it so they can live that luxury lifestyle that they never had. And I'm not no pick me female or whatever the case is, but I feel like a lot of y'all women, y'all want a high value man. It's because you trying to live beyond your means. And I feel like at that point, a lot of y'all just want to be somebody's daughter because y'all want to be 100% dependent on a particular person. I feel like they become a bill.
But is that? But I ain't gonna hold you. See, this why I gotta play devil's advocate.
Well, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? This is why I gotta play devil's advocate, cause a lot of men who are built themselves up to that part, up to that point, they feel like they don't necessarily care about how much income a female makes because they already high successful men themselves. So,
right.
If they was to go on a date and you gotta go 50-50 on the bill, that sound kind of crazy, right? And you this big, you Michael J. White, You know what I'm saying? That sound crazy, right? Let's be real. So,
but some
you know
of them want to
what I mean?
test somebody and see if someone really just using them for their money, because some people, just because you got it all, you can still lose it all too. So say for instance, I've seen some women who have been around a wealthy man or whatever the case is, and have actually fell off.
High value, okay.
Yeah, and then they'll leave the man high and dry, or they just be like, well, I was so used to you doing everything and you figuring everything out, so what do you think I'm supposed to do?
That's real.
That's
real.
crazy.
That's real. Okay, so how do you feel about, is that a problem? Like, I'm not, all right, I ain't gonna talk too much about that because I wanna, get into the topics. I know we pressed for time, but like, how you feel about a guy running things? Like, do you believe in gender roles? Like a man has a man spot and a female has a female. You don't believe that?
No, I believe we should take turns because everybody gets tired.
Okay, so a man should contribute to cleaning the house, mopping the floors, cooking. He got to put on the apron, get on the grill real quick,
Because the thing about it is too, schedules could be different. Or it could be a day where he's been off for 2 days and I work for 4 days, but I'm off towards the weekend. Okay. So if you're off for those 2 days and I have to go to work, then you should be able to have food ready. Whether if you don't know how to cook, order something. But I'm not no picky female, so I tell a man he can order me whatever it is that he has a taste for, because I'm going to eat whatever he's eating, or introduce me to something new.
Lobsters and steaks, guys. Lobsters and steaks, the fine cuisines. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have that up to par.
Yeah, that's cool too. But no, I do not believe in gender roles.
Boss up, y'all. Boss up. That's what that means. Boss up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But okay, like how do you feel like if a guy wasn't all the way there yet? Like he had potential and he was going somewhere, he had a vision, he was going somewhere, he had a business, but it wasn't, let's say it was just taking off, right?
Right.
So how do you feel like he should conduct himself? Like, do you feel like he should? Because as a man, to me, I believe in gender roles. You know what I'm saying? I believe that a man should provide, protect, and all that good stuff. And a female, she should nurture and advise. Her wit, her mind. It supersedes. Anything else. You know what I'm saying? Kings, queens. Even back to the olden days, if you want to look at it like, they had to sit down and have counsel, all the warlords, all the generals, but the queen, she still had value and had consideration. Her output was valuable to the king.
Right.
Because obviously he putting his line on the line, his lineage on the line. So do you feel like if a man takes all the responsibility, that's a bad thing? Or do you feel like that's how it should be?
I feel like it depends on what his position is in life.
He's a king.
Yeah, but I know. But I'm just, okay, so I look at it from that point of view as in far as,
he got
because
people relying on him.
But
king,
see, right. But see, I look at it as in, because a lot of women, they look at everything as a financial status.
Okay.
So
we're not back in the olden days, y'all.
Right. So I feel like if he really has a job and y'all really make the same amount of money or whatever the case is, then no, because that's too much of a burden. And there's nothing worse than seeing a black man going through a lot of stress. And a lot of black men also feel like they can't confide, they can't show emotions. So they feel like they just have to just be like, they just gotta put it on. And I feel sorry for a lot of men who have to endure that, because a lot of black men don't talk about how they feel. And I've also done research so many times too of how they actually commit suicide because they go through a lot of stuff like that too, and it's heartbreaking.
They off themselves.
Yes.
So my thing, once again, I gotta play pushback, I gotta play, I'm on the male side, I'm on the male team, I got a little pushback.
Right.
So my thing with that is, if I don't believe guys should show emotion to females that's at their most vulnerable spot. Mm-hmm. And that might sound, there's only a few occasions that a guy can show that kind of emotion and it's acceptable.
Right.
parents die, something like that, or a loss of someone near and dear. He cried a little bit. I ain't talking about no boo-hoo crying, you know, sniffing at the nose. I ain't talking about nothing like that. I'm talking more so like a, you know, stoic, you know. He hold it in, he kind of tuck it,
Right.
but it just spill over. You see the drop. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's a real man. Because at the same token, he might have other people, male and female, that's dependent on him. And if he's in this kind of condition, it will show the rest of the people that, oh, he ain't prepped for this.
Right.
We can't look to him for guidance because he's not up to par where, you know, we thought he was. He's this big tough guy all the time, and now he's sobbing like a child, you know. So I feel like it's okay to show emotion to your lady, your spouse, your significant other, but I feel like also it's a fine line you gotta walk. It's a tightrope, and you gotta really balance the two, because some people may see that as a sign of weakness, or because let's not kid ourselves. You know, when couples argue, they pull out all the stops. Oh, the other day you was woo woo. You know what I mean? Like that. Right. Not saying that that's right or wrong, but you know, it happens like that.
Yeah.
It happens. And I'm not saying you holding something above their head, but these things that happen.
You kind of are, and it's very disrespectful for somebody to vent to you in something that they wanted to really get off of them, and for you to get into an argument and you bring up when they was telling you about they were molested as a kid, and then you turn around and you want to hit them below the belt with it and be like, well, I don't give a damn, go back over there. That's why your uncle molested you when you was a kid. Like, you don't do that. That's why I say, like, a lot of people don't trust people. You know what I'm saying?
Shouldn't even play like that. Gentlemen, don't even play like that. Don't even play those games. Don't even cut that low. Don't even think about it. Don't even cut that low, because that's not, these things are real things. That's why we talking about it. That's why we here. Yeah. We here to talk about this. So it's certain things that don't need to be said. That's an understood thing, and what's understood don't got to be explained. So,
or if you're really just that type of person where you feel like you just can't open up to somebody like that, but you really do want to, even if you are a man or a woman, go to a therapist. Especially more black
so
people.
You believe in therapy?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna get a little personal, y'all. Now you could not answer this or answer this.
Go ahead.
Have you ever been to therapy?
No, I haven't.
You haven't. So how do you deal with trauma? Not saying I don't know your personal background, y'all. You know what I mean? I don't know none of that. So, but for somebody outside looking in,
right?
What would you tell them how to deal with trauma if not therapy?
Well, to be honest, I seriously would ask them, what are some things that you have done probably when you were experiencing trauma? Like, was it a couple minutes, couple hours where you kind of felt an escape by something that you did? Or, or did you know what I'm saying, write down stuff that I've heard, but no, I'm gonna be honest, I never experienced trauma.
Okay. To that extent, okay.
Yeah, to that extent. So I've heard stories all the time where people have been taken advantage of, where there has been like rape, molestation, robbery, being drugged, almost being killed. And I thank God I've never experienced anything like that. But
cut, edit, YouTube, cut, edit. You know what I mean? Some of these buzzwords. But go ahead. I ain't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I've never experienced anything like that. But I've been the type of person where I hear people out and I just try to help them the best way possible. And give them options and see if they want to try it out to see if it helps, work for them and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about men in general? Do you feel like, because a lot of people saying, and I've been watching a whole lot of online content, real pill content, that's that stuff Kevin Samuels is on, all the great podcasters, Fresh and Fit, Pearly Things, whatever podcast, shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been looking at a lot of material and content, and they saying that as the generations done past, traditionally speaking, men were more masculine back in the day. They was a manly man. But now the guys nowadays, they're a little bit softer. And because they are that way, and a lot of women are growing up with just their mothers, they don't have a father figure, that they don't know the male side, you know, the guy side. So they growing up a little bit more masculine. They becoming boss babes, and how you started off saying, you know, all the famous rappers and celebrities, you know, the Cardi B's and the Megan Thee Stallions of the world, you know, they about their paper. Right. Granted, they doing other accolades and stuff like that, going to school and all that, but it comes off as a challenge to a man, because when a man, to me, as a man, when a man looks at a woman, he looks at her beauty first, always. That's anybody, any human being. They look at looks first.
Yes.
You know, what are they driving in, how they dressing, how they look, how do they smell if I get close to them. And then the next thing besides that is when they open their mouth.
Yeah.
You could fuck a whole situation up. You know, you see this dude, he got the car, he got the persona and all this, and as soon as he open his mouth, he say the wrong thing. Or just how his voice, it come off too feminine. And that's a no-go. It's out the door. Like, nah, I can't fool with him. Or if I do fool with him, it's only for this reason.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel like people nowadays should navigate this world in the climate that it's in? Like, do you feel like they should just accept it for what it is, or do you feel like we need to go back to how things work?
I feel like,
your honest opinion.
Yeah,
you gotta hold no balls.
Men definitely should go back and sit down and talk to men from those different eras, and to really get an understanding of what it is really like to be a man, and to go that way. Because a lot of them, they'll say, well, it's not that time, this and third. But I'm like, a lot of that still can apply for, you know what I'm saying, this day, time, and age. But I will say this, and I don't care what nobody said, how they feel about it. We are not designed to be by ourselves. I don't care what no one says. A man is needed in a household. He is needed in a household, and not just for financial reasons. So, a man is needed for overall everything.
So hold on. I gotta push back now. Now
ahead.
You did say you don't believe in gender roles.
Mm-hmm.
You don't believe in gender roles, but at the same token, you're saying that a man should be head of the household. That's gender roles. If you look at biblical terms, the man is the spear. Traditionally speaking, he's the leader, and the female follows. But I feel like a lot of women nowadays have a problem with certain buzzwords like submission. Oh, yeah. Or, you know, that they don't do it. Oh, I'm a dog. I just gotta, you know, jump when you say jump, or come when you say fetch. And
they don't even necessarily mean that.
So to you, what does the word submission mean to you as a woman?
Well, to me, I feel like it means that he definitely can lead, and he also can teach you things, but y'all gonna also compromise along the way. Like, he's not gonna be your dad and be like, oh yeah, you better, or you better have this, that, and the third. Nah.
But why do you feel like compromise? Like, what do you feel like the pushback? Because I feel like, I'm from the male gaze, from the male side, I gotta play devil's advocate, y'all. From the male side, if I was a father, I don't have any kids. You know what I'm saying? But if I was a father and I had a daughter and I jumped into her life and told her something, granted, let's say her husband was to jump in the same way I would be proud of my son-in-law, because I would feel like that's what I would do as a man. You know, but just like how you said, oh, you're not my daddy. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me necessarily X, Y, Z, and I just go by that. You gotta have a good reason behind that.
Yeah, somebody might want you to explain to them as to why you telling them what they should do or can do or have done. Because some people, they don't have comprehension skills, where they don't understand certain things. So some people, they need stuff broken down a little bit more detail and stuff like that. So
okay.
That's what I mean by that. But no, but I've been around some women where they do take it wrong, and I be like, calm down. He didn't mean it that way. He meant it this way. And then they be like, oh.
Outside looking in.
Yeah, and they be like, oh, okay, I understand. But yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel? I don't know if you do you date? Do you like what is your current relationship status? You don't gotta answer if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm single.
Single. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been on or experienced dating websites like Tinder, POF, Hinge, Bumble, any of those things?
I experienced POF.
POF, Plenty of Fish.
It was trash.
Shout outs to y'all. Y'all trash. Y'all heard it.
Trash. It's a lot of possums that was in my inbox.
A lot of possums.
Possums. I deleted that out. It was terrible. It's a lot of people that go on there and they was acting like it was a back page, and then a lot of people think like you're a catfish, but they thought I was a catfish and all kind of stuff. So it wasn't a win for me.
Okay.
But I also now I got to the point where social media has taken over so much to the point where I'm like, do people even still really approach you out in public? Because it's so many filters and so much stuff going on. I have been catfished by men before, meeting up with them and stuff. And I'm like, nowadays I would rather just try to like go out more to outings, like different restaurants and bars and stuff to see, and I run into somebody like that.
It's funny you say that because I myself have been catfished.
Right.
By other men. Posing as women.
Oh, that's big.
That's a whole different ball. I'm sitting here spending a whole week, 2 weeks, getting in depth, getting to know their lifestyle and all that, and I meet up and we ain't gonna talk about that. Right? That's a whole nother episode, y'all. But,
that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It's a real thing. So the online persona and dating thing, I feel like a lot of people nowadays are youth. It's this whole hookup culture.
Yeah.
Hookup. Like everybody wanna smash, everybody wanna link up, everybody wanna be somebody's sneaky link, everybody wanna backdoor something, you know, all this stuff going on and
they always wanna hit you with what you doing and can y'all smoke and drink together. It's more to do than to smoke and drink.
The simple pleasures, y'all. The simple pleasures.
That is crazy. I'm like, I first time meeting, why we can't go throw axes? Why we can't go fishing?
Throw axes?
Yeah. You know, they got the axe throwing thing where you throw it at the
that's different.
Yeah.
Now I know what you're talking about,
Yeah,
but that's different.
Yeah,
that's
let's
different.
go and do that. Go fishing, throw the axes. Oh, go ride bicycles. I haven't rode a bicycle in so long, so I decided to go and do that.
Cycling.
Yeah, that was fun.
I hit a female recently because I'm on dating sites. If y'all seen me, don't come at me, y'all. Y'all gonna see this later when it drop. You know what I'm saying? But I done hit a female with a line like something regular, because everybody be talking about, let's go on a date, fine dine, whining, and you know, as men, they teach us from the people I done watch, they teach us don't invest too much on your first date. Because the overall underlying message between male and female is females want to have that guy and get to know that guy without giving it up, right?
Right.
So males want to have that girl and get that girl without giving up the resources, the finances, and stuff like that.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? So it's this game we play between
each other,
and it becomes this battlefield subconsciously where it's like, oh, okay, I want this and you want that. If I put a little bit of this, will I get that?
Right.
Or, you know, it becomes this thing. So I hit a female with a line like, oh, you know, we could have a, nice little date, nice little walk in the park, somewhere by the lake, throw bread at the ducks. Something like that. You know what I mean?
But they'll call that a corny.
Facts. Nowadays, they'll be like, oh, he ain't talking about nothing, nigga, and wah. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that, I'm more like my father. He's older. He's 70-some years old. Like, I grew from the people who brought me up is from a whole different era.
Right.
So the things they instilling in me, it's not like that anymore. And when I hit these females with these lines, they be like, oh, you played out. Oh, this. Just like how you say, oh, you corny. You coming off like you know what I mean? Like it's
this
just
day,
different.
time, and age, I would rather take that walk in the park than a man
I feel
hitting
like
me
that's
up.
cool. That's cool.
I would
You know
rather
what I
take that
mean?
walk in the park versus a man texting me, what you doing all day? And I'd be like, nothing. What are you trying to do? Well, I got this bottle. Do you smoke? Can I just come over to your place? No, I'd rather go to the park and actually get to know you there. And then if we have a real good vibe,
a connection, yeah.
then we can take each other on a date. Because let me tell you something. I do stand on this. My first time meeting you, whatever the case is, I don't know what I'm really getting myself into. So I really don't want to spend money on you at first at all either. I'd rather do something free and cheap.
And that they shouldn't. A female, traditionally speaking, should not have to, because usually if you're looking at it like that, a male approaches the female. I don't know about nowadays how it's going on.
Yeah.
But when I grew up, they call it courtship. You know what I mean? You ask a female out, you decide the place, what you like, what you want to eat, all this, that, and the sort, and then you conduct yourself as such. You dress for the part, and you also pay for the part.
Right.
And that way you can make her comfortable enough to be in her feminine energy to the point where she can open up and show her real self to you.
Let me tell you something about that, how I feel about that.
You know what I'm saying?
I've always
me.
been real feminine. I've always been real soft. A couple months back, I made this Facebook status. I say it's real crazy to me how women nowadays say, oh, I want to be back in my feminine, soft era. You're a woman. That's already within you. I feel like if you're single and you live by yourself and you have to take your own trash out, or you have to find a maintenance person,
It's
or you
different.
gotta pre-trip your car. I mean, that's just life. That's basic necessity. So
It is, but it's,
when you get a man, yeah, true enough. That's if, like I said, that's if y'all want to play gender roles or whatever the case is. But I don't. That's just like a man saying, "Oh, I can't wait to find a real woman, so I can become masculine." That's weird. You see how that sounds? That's weird.
That's facts.
You went like, oh.
And a lot of guys do feel like that, because I got partners that's like, they done got their heart broke, they done been done a certain kind of way, and it's like to the point where they fucked up. They don't even look at females in the same light. Like, it ain't no good women out here.
No, for real.
Bro, I just do my thing, and if it turn into something, it turn into something.
And I can't stand when I meet men like that, because I'm like, I'm not on that. But when I meet somebody, I'm very genuine or whatever from the beginning. And a lot of people who do meet me and they see who I am and what I'm about, they think everything is too good to be true, and it either scares them away, or they feel like they go back to what they deserve, which is nothing. So that's another reason why I'm still single.
That's a real thing, and I done had that same thing happen to me. I done had a female who, let's say, came up from humble beginnings. You know, she in the projects, and I'm paying bills. I'm paying her mama bills. I don't got to, but just the guy I am, if I'm gonna be around that, hell, I'm gonna contribute. I'm gonna do my part. Like, what you mean? Like, what am I doing sitting here pulling up to your spot and your lights off?
Why?
What that look like? How am I supposed to feel like, my mama didn't pay the light bill? Oh, okay, I got you.
Right.
I got you. Not saying that, there's a whole nother line. We ain't even getting into that advanced shit, like taking advantage and stuff like that. But, that's off the strength. Off the strength as a man, masculine energy, I feel like you should come in with presence.
But a lot of men nowadays, they're getting being used.
That's
They're getting
another
tired
thing
of being
too.
so used. And a lot of people who do have money, that are financially well off, they get used so much to the point, if you do small gestures just because you want to show
kindness.
Kindness and appreciation, they be like, wow, what is that? Because sometimes I've been around people who's been well off, and I just turned around and just did something nice for them. I might have turned around and paid their light bill or something like that, and they be like, wow, you did what? Yeah, I figured out how to do it. I snuck and did it. I got you. Because you done helped me out for over 5 or 6 months, especially without me having to ask you. So I don't want you to feel like it's always you always have to give. And that's with anything.
But it's not. That's not most people though.
Right.
Most people is cutthroat. It's a this for that type thing. A quick pro quo, however you say that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a this for that type of thing. It's like, what am I gonna gain from dealing with this person?
No, for real.
And it's like if there's nothing, then what we got to talk about?
No, for real.
You know, time is money. Oh, I'm older. I got my mind made up. You know, I'm already established myself. What can you do for me?
And it's a lot of men that do, if they don't want you, if they do want to financially take care of you, they really do want you to cook for them and to clean. And also men, y'all need to pay attention to these women, how they carry themselves, or when you go into their household, or especially their cars. Because if they're not keeping their own stuff clean,
the whip, nah.
What makes you think they're gonna cook and clean for you? Like, come on, let's be serious.
Take notes, y'all. Take notes.
You gotta pay attention. You got to pay attention to it. And it's crazy because when people fall out, he be like, oh, I went over her house. Her house was always nasty. Okay, so what made you think she was gonna cook and clean at your spot before y'all even moved in together?
She ain't even clean her own spot.
Exactly. Come on, make it make sense.
Dang, take notes, gentlemen.
A lot of men don't even realize what kind of woman that they want until they either experience trauma or until they do come across a really good woman and she presents all these qualities of everything that she has, and they be like, you know what? I didn't realize how important this was, and you're coming out doing all these things without having to be told or even asked. And this when they start to form the idea of the kind of woman that they want. Because a lot of times it's not their mom, that they don't want a woman like their mom.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So I know we still pressed for time, y'all. I ain't trying to cut this short. I'm gonna ask two major things, and we're gonna wherever it go, it go. How do you feel about this online culture? And I feel like that separates the generations from like my father, who's 70-something.
Yeah.
To me, my nephews, everybody around me, the youngins, people my age. I feel like the game has changed and women get more validation online because you could just take the separate genders. You could take male and you could take female. You get on a dating site, I get on the same dating site. The options you will get will lap mine 100-fold.
Right.
100-fold. And I could be up to par. And you could just be regular degular. And you will still lap me 100-fold. And this is what, shout outs to Kevin Samuel, once again, RIP. It goes back to what they call the sexual dating market.
Right.
Your value when the opposite gender looks at, or the same gender if you roll that way, looks at you in that kind of light. What are they looking for? Oh, that do it for me.
Yeah.
I seen him. Oh yeah, he exactly what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you? It's uneven. It's an uneven balance because if you look at the wealthy people, or like I said, the Michael B. Jordans or whatever of the world. And,
a lot of them are fake though. Another thing too, y'all gotta stop falling for a lot of stuff that y'all see. Cause a lot of this stuff is rented, a lot of this stuff is dupes, a lot of their chains and money and stuff is fake props.
But I'm gonna push back a little bit because some of these regular average women are getting DM'd by these blue check men. They got blue check, they verified, they doing something.
Right.
And that to just simply off that, they got a blue check on IG. They stand out. You know what I'm saying? To the regular guy that they grew up with, knew 5, 6, 7, 18 years.
But they need to be careful with that now because everybody can buy the blue check.
What you mean?
They got it now where you can purchase it on Facebook and Instagram. It's $14.99 a month. They made a lot of memes out of that.
Sneaky.
Yeah, that's why I said you gotta be careful.
What Future said, what he said, what it was, flex till you get it, or some along those lines. You flexing, you know what I'm saying, but you ain't necessarily got it yet. But if you portray this lifestyle, this luxury lifestyle online, and you're around these big time people, even though you ain't got this big time money, they're gonna go for it. Because image damn near nowadays is everything. Instagram Yeah, it's like a golden ticket. Like, oh, I can. This open doors for me right here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm in the room with such and such. Like this. What you mean? Like I'm gonna take this to the limits. Like.
Better go with your first mind. Your first mind tell you no. You better keep doing your research and look. Don't fall for it. Check that person all the way out.
But can you blame them though? Like if somebody, like for example, let's say same dude who, I ain't trying to put you out, bro. If you see this, Michael B. Jordan. Let's say he DM'd you, right? He DM'd you.
Right.
You want to respond?
I'm gonna be honest, no, because I wouldn't believe that he's
what
talking
you
to
mean?
me.
Oh, that's cap. That's cap, yo. That's cap.
I'm like, out of all the people in the world,
Michael B. Jordan, that's cap. That's cap, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Let me tell you, I had a guy that was a famous Instagram person or whatever at the time.
We ain't got to name names. We ain't got to name names.
It was in my DM. But let me tell you how I did my own research. This is why I'm glad that I did watch the show Catfish, MTV, or whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm.
I did the whole image research and everything, and I found the actual profile.
Okay.
Cause I'm just like,
there's a lot of poses out
there. Yeah,
there.
cause it's. Now the thing about it is, like, I'm nowhere near. I'm a beautiful female, but at the same time, if it don't make sense to me, I'm not finna bite into it. I'm not. I gotta do my research, and it's not like I know I can't get somebody, cause I can get whatever, but I'd be like, is this real? Let me check it out. Like, I'm not gonna say nothing to that person, but I'm gonna do my research. Best believe that. I'm checking it out.
I hear you and I feel you, but I still believe if you seen Michael B. Jordan with a blue check and his shit look kind of valid, I feel like you would respond. Bro, any female would.
He gotta FaceTime me.
If I was a female, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, you gonna lead up and follow your leads and all that, but you know what I'm saying?
So he write me, I'd be like, FaceTime, let me know it's really you, because I'm not finna be talking to no serial killer that's out here posing.
He ain't no Jeffrey Dahmer like that. Just crazy on some
Then the
crazy.
first time they be like, oh, I'm busy, I can't FaceTime you. Oh, you fake. Back down my inbox. Block. I ain't going for it.
That's crazy. Okay, I know we pressed for time, y'all. The last thing I want to get into, because this is a real good conversation. So, how do you feel? How do you feel about your current situation? And I don't mean directly on you, but think about yourself.
So in this whole dating thing?
Yes, but
I hate it.
But hold on. Think about yourself, and think about all the women out there, younger, older. You know, you might be speaking to a generation of women out there. You know, the youth. Right. Or even older females that's old and bitter and be like, oh, men ain't shit. Ooh, you know what I mean? Like, what would you say in the dating market now that they need to realize that you probably didn't realize when you was a certain age? Because they say most women in their 20s, their early teens, 18, 19, you know what I'm saying? They want to say that that's at their peak sexual market value. That's when men, even high value men, will want them the most.
Right.
Because let's not pretend, y'all. Let's not pretend that men and women biologically are different. Women have a shot clock. They have a fertility clock. They have, baby fever is a real thing. So, like, what would you tell people out there that want to be successful and have a successful relationship, marriage, whatever you want to call it? What would you tell them to look for, the do's and don'ts, basically?
First of all, I want to start off saying we need, as women, we need to have realistic boundaries. And nothing's going to be perfect. And also, you really need to pick your battles between you and your significant other. Because when you do get in your 30s, or when you get in your 40s, it becomes even more difficult to date, because a lot of the people who fought through all those ups and downs between their early 20s to their 30s and stuff like that, they did all the trials and tribulations, and they're, you know what I'm saying, they're married. So we have to get out this era too, where we constantly have to stop thinking people can't hurt us because your family members do the same thing, your mom and stuff like
be
that.
The family that hurts you the most.
And then y'all cool off and y'all figure it out and y'all work through it or whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. We have to stop making this normalizing thing to just keep on blocking people. Oh, you said this to me out this way, block. You didn't do this or that, block. You took a nap, block.
But can you blame them though? Like I said, I gotta play devil's advocate. Can you blame them? Because like I said earlier, you take a male, you take a female. They got all these options. They got DMs daily. They got people, good morning, how are you doing? Hell, they probably got men in categories. Oh, I got this nigga to get me lunch. I got this dude to get me this. I got this dude, he a plumber. You know what I mean? Like they got them in categories to where it's so many options that they feel like they're empowered, and they really are, because physical things are happening for them.
But my thing is, when you think about it, when you get them, I feel like this: how long are you gonna keep doing it? Like at a certain point in your life,
as long as they keep coming in.
But that's ridiculous, because why would you want to keep that many options for so many years? Like, what are you truly gonna get out of that at the end of the night? Because if you doing that, say for instance, if you do want to be a side chick or whatever to a married man, stuff like that, he has his foundation, he has his own home. You're sleeping at home every night by yourself in that bed while he's going to go cuddle up with the person that they been doing whatever or however with and stuff like that. So,
but once again, like I said, because they feel it's really happening for them. And that's why I said I can't necessarily blame them 100% completely, because like if let's say they DM or they text a married man at 10 o'clock at night, hey, what you doing? Pull up. And they do that, to them, they feel empowered. Oh, I got the power to take him away from his old lady and his family to come deal with me.
Right. That's
empowerment.
Yeah.
Even though, just like how you saying, in the long scheme of things, he's not gonna leave his old lady.
No, he's not.
You know what I'm saying? But they're not seeing that point because they're getting what is sufficient at the moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So how do they snap out of that to where it's like,
when they get to a point where they're gonna be looking around, and because it's gonna come a point where it's gonna start to die down, and these are people that you think you're gonna keep on having these connections and these relationships with. It's not gonna happen, because other people still go through chapters in their lives where they start to get even closer to the person that they might have been doing or sneaking this around. Because a lot of them, if they have not noticed, they are forgiving at home, and they work through everything and you know what I'm saying, and all of it. So it's like, where are you gonna get to a point where you be like, man, this shit is old. I really gotta grow up. I'm not really, if you think about it, you're really not benefiting nothing from it. You only getting whatever at the time being, but it's gonna fade away. It's gonna come to an end. It's going to come to an end. Like,
if y'all don't got the ring, y'all don't got the title, y'all don't really have it.